Congress of Vienna, 1815. First up, we're going all the way back to 1815. After the fall of Napoleon, Europe was in chaos. The Congress of Vienna brought together leaders from major European powers to restore order. They redrew Europe's map and aimed to prevent any one nation from becoming too powerful. The result? Nearly a century of peace, but also the rise of nationalism and revolutionary movements. Revolutions of 1848. In 1848, Europe exploded with revolutions. From Paris to Vienna, people were demanding more rights, better conditions, and national unity. While many revolutions were crushed, the 1848 uprisings showed Europe that change was inevitable. They sparked the rise of new political movements, especially the push for democracy. Unification of Germany, 1871. In 1871, Germany was unified under Prussian leadership, changing the balance of power in Europe. Otto von Bismarck's strategic diplomacy and military victories created the German Empire. This new power created rivalries, especially with France, and would eventually contribute to the outbreak of World War I. World War I, 1914 to 1918. World War I was a game changer. Empires like Austria-Hungary, the Ottoman Empire, Russia, and Germany collapsed. New nations emerged and Europe was left devastated. The Treaty of Versailles, which ended the war, laid the groundwork for the World War II. Russian Revolution, 1917. In 1917, the Russian Revolution changed the world forever. The Bolsheviks, led by Lenin, overthrew the Tsarist regime and created the Soviet Union. This marked the start of communism's spread in Europe, which would influence global politics for the entire 20th century. World War II, 1939 to 1945. World War II reshaped the world on a massive scale. The war saw the rise of Nazi Germany, the Holocaust, and a devastating conflict that wiped out millions of lives. When it ended, Europe was divided, the United Nations was formed, and the Cold War began. The Cold War, 1947 to 1991. The Cold War was a battle of ideologies between the US and the Soviet Union. Europe was divided between communist East and capitalist West. The arms race, the space race, and constant tensions defined this period, with Europe being the epicenter of this global struggle. The Berlin Wall, 1961 to 1989. One of the most iconic symbols of the Cold War was the Berlin Wall, built in 1961 to divide East and West Berlin. It wasn't just a wall, it represented the split between communist and capitalist Europe. In 1989, it finally fell, signaling the end of the Cold War and the reunification of Germany. The Hungarian Revolution, 1956. In 1956, Hungarians rose up against Soviet rule. The revolution was crushed by Soviet tanks, but it sent a clear message. The people of Eastern Europe wanted freedom. Though unsuccessful, it inspired future uprisings and highlighted the tensions between Soviet control and the desire for independence in satellite states. The fall of the Soviet Union, 1991. And finally, in 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed. The Cold War ended and Europe entered a new era. Independent nations emerged from the former USSR, and many former communist countries transitioned to democracy and capitalism. This was a massive turning point for Europe and the world.